space, who drives organizational change with focus on fostering a compassionate workplace. She also coaches women in navigating life-altering challenges and supports their families and communities through empathy and guidance. May I also call Mr. Animesh Rai, a seasoned learning and development expert with over 18 years in HR and people analytics. As CEO of Ripples Learning and head of HRVP certifications, he has certified over 20,000 professionals globally and leads innovative HR strategies through his roles with the Center of Excellence for HRVP and as co-chair of the HR committee. Aditya Pal Singh is a seasoned talent acquisition professional with over 2 decades of experience in crafting impactful recruitment strategies globally, and also serves as a visiting faculty at IIMs and IITs and is a thought leader in global forums like GWFM and NHRV. Kavita Shivakumar is a highly accomplished HR leader with over 20 years of experience. She's excelled in roles from recruiter to senior director HRVP at Commvault. Her expertise spans talent management, leadership development, and HR operations, and her career reflects a dynamic ability to drive growth, enhance engagement, and foster positive work cultures across diverse sectors.
No, you're not coming.
Naveen. Okay, I'm sorry. Last but not the least, Mr. Naveen Patel. I'm sorry. Global TA head at Redefind, who brings over 20 years of expertise in talent acquisition, sourcing, and recruitment.
We'll try and bring some smile. We've changed the format because this is the last session. No, it's not. Oh, there's more. So we've changed the session to suit us. Right? Adi. He's the moderator, not me, so I'll give it to him.
Sorry, I can do this with all of them. Okay. How many folks from HR? Just put your hands up. Okay.
Why
thank
didn't
you.
you listen to us again?
That was my question. Okay, so what we thought was, HR guys are not very fond of presentations, right? Let's be very honest, right? On a lighter note. And what we thought was we will try and run this like a panel, more on experiential learning from each other, something which you can take back, right? Even if, I believe for a fact that even if you take 10% back from this conversation here, I think that's a win for all of us. Before we start, I will maybe hand over to Animesh. He'll go and speak and open up the discussion, and then we will have the panel discussion with everybody.
Okay.
You need some mic?
You use this mic.
Thank you, Aditya. It's working. Am I audible, everyone? Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, panel. Very happy to be part of this esteemed panel. Thank you, GCPIT, for the invitation. I think the topic by itself speaks for what the panel has done today. I think the topic is HR Redefined, adapting to the evolving landscape of work. We have adapted to the evolving landscape of the summit, right? We have kind of changed the format to suit and make sure that everybody takes home some good knowledge. I would be probably talking for about 7 to 8 minutes. I would like to set the context for the panel to continue and take the discussion forward. And I would like to begin by first talking about a beautiful saying from Albert Einstein. He said, the measure of intelligence is with the ability to change, right? And when we talk about today's topic, which is largely adapting to evolving landscape of work and how is HR getting redefined, I think the topic is truly saying 3 things. How is the landscape of work evolving? How is the evolution redefining human resource? And how we as HR professionals can adapt to this new landscape? Largely, these are the 3 things that we are talking about. And when we talk about the first question that I just raised, that is, how is landscape of work evolving? I think there are various forces which are shaping the landscape of work at CHRVP. We have defined it in a model called Thrive. And we call it Thrive because we believe that these changes represent an opportunity rather than a threat. And in fact, all that has been discussed from morning today, I think it brings all of it together because T here stands for technology that is constantly changing, changing things in the world that we live in, work in. H stands for hybrid and remote work, and there is a lot of conversation that all of you have heard on that. R stands for resilience, which is about improving mental and physical well-being. I stands for inclusivity, and it's about representing different demographics. V stands for versatility, and it includes elements like gig workforce, intrapreneurship, etc. And E is for ecology, which is about sustainability and green initiatives, right? I mean, there are a lot of data points that everybody spoke in terms of AI, and there is no point scaring anyone anymore. I'm sure you have had inputs in terms of hybrid and remote work, like 15% of the companies globally are remote today. When we look at resilience, I think a lot of people talk about mental health and physical health, so I'm skipping those data points. But something that we need to look at is when I say the kind of workplace that is evolving, and when we talk about inclusivity, there is some interesting point to look at because we are talking about 75% of workforce globally will be millennials and by Gen Z in next year, which is 2025, and more so significantly in India. When we talk about versatility, according to a report from Niti Aayog, gig workers are expected to form 6.7% of the non-agricultural workforce and 4.1% of total livelihood in India by 2030. And these are huge numbers, right? We are talking about 4% of economy being driven by gig workers. And when we look at ecology, there is a wonderful report from Skill Council I think everybody should go for, and also from JP Morgan, which says 35 million new jobs will be created in green economy by 2047. So these are points that when we talk about evolving landscape of work, and when we talk about these data supporting the hypothesis that the landscape is evolving at a much faster pace, at a radical pace, and we HR are in forefront of it because we are human resource. So the next question to ask is, how is the evolution of HR and how is that redefining, that gets redefined, right? And while anticipating that, I feel 4 areas would redefine human resource, add to the existing areas that are there, which may seem a lot of members of jobs being automated or probably not existing, but the opportunity that we see here is these 4 areas. And when we talk about these 4 areas, we are talking about areas of workforce shaping, areas of culture, areas of employee experience, and area of data and analytics. As Dr. Surya Prakash Mahapatra was talking about jobs that would get automated are where human imagination and human perspective and human decision making is not involved. Largely these roles are connected to that. So I would want all of you to explore about these roles, these areas, but these areas would largely lead to some new designations that would come in HR, and I'm sure all HR professionals would love the bit that I'm going to talk about, because these are designations and these are job roles and these are job descriptions that may define the way we work in future in human resource. Look at some of the designations of future. And when I say future, it's not very far. Most of it is what we are already seeing in terms of evolved roles and responsibilities. You can look at a role called HR data detective, something called work from home facilitator, something called HR business continuity officer, a chatbot and a human facilitator, a HR algorithm officer, HR prompt engineer. I am from an engineering background. I was passionate about HR when I was out of college. I never thought HR and engineer can come together. And now a high-paying, well-done, really good written role is on HR prompt engineer. There are roles of employee experience manager, workplace environment architect, director of well-being, employee enablement coach, genetic diversity officer, VR immersion counselor, and many, many more. There are a lot of areas, even ESG, CSR roles are being aligned to human resource. So when you look at what is evolving from the aspect of work and how this evolution is redefining human resource, it is imperative for us to move to the third question. How can we as HR professionals adapt to this new landscape? Right? And when we talk about adapting to this new landscape, I think the answer for me is learning. It's upskilling, it's reskilling. It's researching what is going on to change and where the world is heading. It's leveraging emerging knowledge and tools that will get you there. And it's about driving the change from the driver's seat and not riding the wheel. And when I talk about this, I think one example that comes to my mind is we were the first one in the world. HRVP was the first one in the world to launch a generative AI certification for HR professionals. We, in last 1 year, have covered 600 HR leaders from 28 different countries. And our certified students have implemented 170 successful projects in their respective companies, solving multiple issues which are unresolved for years. And that is adaptability for you. Now, and some of the interesting projects that I will talk about is there was a predictive ROI for learning initiative which was implemented. There was a reduced offer drop rate, which was about close to 27% by implementing a solution. A unicorn, largely in logistics space, was able to improve quality of hire significantly using our Gen AI idea model. Right? So now coming to what we as HR needs to do. And when we talk about HR, I need to talk about probably top 4 or 5 skills that you can look at, because we are talking about learning, we are talking about skilling, we are talking about upskilling, we are talking about reskilling. And when we look at these 5 skills, HR and people analytics would come on top, and I'm sure you would have heard of that. And you need not fear them, because if you ever thought that you are an HR professional and you chose HR because of lack of mathematical skills, right? And if maths is not good, analytics is not for you, we are not dealing with big data. We are not dealing with velocity, volume, and variety coming together. We are talking about small data sets which can easily be dealt with the tools that we have. We are talking about generative AI in HR. We are talking about business partnering skills. We are talking about managing stakeholder and influencing, and we are talking about strategic workforce planning. These are the skills of today and skills of tomorrow. And what we can do to be on top of these trends, I'll just tell you, and this is very, very important, because if you apply this while learning, I think you would be part of the thought leadership of human resource. One thing is that you should read books when it comes to established knowledge. You should read magazines and research papers and publications for emerging knowledge. And you should follow maybe on X, that is Twitter and Reddit, the latest ideas. And trust me, some of the ideas are really bad ones, but just to be in this space and to understand what's happening, what's driving, what's changing, I think it's important to get the real feel of the field. You need to do that. You need to join communities to practice. You probably need to get some certifications, preferably HRVP, that's doing really well. Relevant projects and internships are really important. And also making a quarterly self-learning calendar. So if these are 4 or 5 skills and you decide that you learn HR analytics for the quarter 1 and generative AI for quarter 2 and managing stakeholder for quarter 3 and quarter 4, I think you would do what it takes in terms of keeping up with the pace and ensuring that you add some real good value and drive some great best practices in human resource and at your workplaces. Right? I would like to now end by again quoting one of my favorite quotes, and again it's connected to learning. It's from Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda said, "Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man." Right? So happy learning, everyone, and I hope that sets the context for the discussion. And I hand it over to Aditya to probably take the discussion forward with the panel. Thank you.
HR guys are not